Peaceville Records. They subsequently released 2 albums, Lost Paradise and Gothic, on that label before signing to Music for Nations earlier this year. Shades of God was recorded in the UK, with production duties being handled by Simon Effney of Diamond Head and Wonder Stuff fame. This rather unusual choice of producer is perhaps a hint that Paradise Lost have not been afraid to experiment with musical styles beyond the boundaries of the death metal genre.
Our influences come from the same places as Candlemass's and Troubles do in a way. I wouldn't say we use Candlemass and Trouble as an influence, maybe Trouble to an extent, but it's mainly early Sabbath from, like, you know, 72, things like that, you know, early Ozzy, maybe even up to Mob Rules with Dio and things, and early metal bands like that, you know, from the early 70s. It's mainly influences like that, and they had this kind of groove to the you know, I mean, sure they played slow, they played heavy, but they had this kind of groove to it, which, you know, maybe, you know, all the harmonies were there and everything was there, and that's what we try and put into music. I mean, obviously nothing's conscious, but that's the kind of things we soak in and tend to put into the music, you know. Consciously put a song together, it mainly develops. I'll maybe have half a song for nearly a year before it actually develops into a full song that we can use. So it's more that things come together, and if something gels with, if one part of the song gels with another part, then we'll go with that and play it for maybe a few months and keep listening back, and if there's things that need changing and airing, or something maybe needs taking out because it's too complex a time change, then we do it, you know. But it's mainly the melody for us now, you know. It's not trying to get complex.
Yeah, it's just what sounds right to us. Yeah. If it sounds right to us, we'll use it, you know. We don't really kind of think about it.
Try to get back around to good songs, good songwriting, rather than speeds and all the things that have come into all the different categories that come into it. Do you play fast, do you play slow? If it's a good song, it shouldn't matter, you know. So.
Decision to actually work on the vocals, because the real kind of gruff vocals are far too one-dimensional. I've been doing it for like 4 years now, and I was just kind of banging my head against the brick walls. I wanted to do something different. Also, it didn't fit with the musical arrangements. It needed something else, you know. You can get a lot more emotion with that kind of vocal style than just the growl all the time, you know. It's just something I've been doing for so long now that I just wanted to try something a little bit different without kind of sacrificing, you know, what we already had.
It's also the music's like certain parts of Gothic, I mean, probably no one's noticed, but there's certain melodies that are like slightly flattened because of the vocals, you know. There's too much for it, and on the new LP there's so much melody and so much going on that it's like we had to like get melody into the vocals, and, you know,
to a certain degree.
So that it'd fit, because if you'd like sung like it on Gothic on the new LP, it'd have just like killed all the melody on it, so you know, it'd defeat the object totally.
Because I actually got kind of coaching with the vocal style, and I sort of spent quite a while actually, you know, going through the lines, whereas before we'd actually take the whole track down, the whole track's in like one day, you know. So for me personally, as you know, for the vocals, it was a great help, you know. All in general, it was great, you know. He was really into what we were doing musically, and he really worked as hard, you know, to get like, the best performance out of all of us, really. So
he wasn't a tried and tested producer either. He's like done bands like Diamond Head, and he's done Wonder Stuff, and with most producers that bands tend to be using, of our ilk, I suppose, tend to be using these days, they have set formulas in the studio, and every band tends to be churned out more or less the same all the time, and this guy came in with a fresh, open mind to it. He knew basically what we were after, but he had all his own ideas, so, you know, and he had no set formula as to how it was going to be done, so that was partly why we're interested in him in the first place, really. It's really important that we like include female vocals or keyboards, or do dub mixes of things, or anything. It's just what songs demand and what don't demand, as the case may be, in the way we progress and the way a song's written. So it's like, as far as the dub mix went, we just felt that it was just to show people, because the first LP we weren't too happy with, like the dub mix was just to take it a step further, show what it maybe could have been. That was the point behind that. And the female vocals and keyboards on Gothic were more, I don't think we overused them, it was more to do with the song demanded it, you know. It added to the song so much. And there were so many diverse influences on the LP Gothic You know, it just seemed to demand that feel to it. It was like an atmospheric feel to that LP. So there's no plan to use things like that when we go into the studio.
My lyrics, whatever they want, but I mean, the bottom of the end of the day, I mean, it's strictly personal, you know. They mean things to me when I actually write them. But people can read into them whatever they want. I like kind of hook lines, I like powerful kind of phrases and stuff. I don't necessarily write one song around one subject, you know. Just take whatever and put it together, you know.